The Mid-Sodor Railway, Season 4, Episode 8, Falcon the Pumping Engine. It was a stormy end to a summer on the Mid-Sodor Railway. Jordan Edwards had sent Duke, Falcon, Stuart and Smudger to our sail sheds for the night, as there was a big storm heading there, and it was heavy rain and big thunder and lightning strikes all night. The engines didn't get a wink of sleep for two reasons: the noise and trying to get Stanley confident. "Come on, Stanley," said Falcon. "We have to keep the lights on, Stanley," said Duke. "You can do it, Stanley," said Smudger. "Yes, you can do it," said Stuart. I'm trying," said Stanley. He was pumping as much energy into the sheds as he could. He was trying as hard as he could, and then he damaged himself, and something even more unlucky happened. Lightning struck him. "I can't keep on pumping the power in. I've damaged myself and I've been struck by lightning," said Stanley. "Oh well," said Duke. "We have to go to sleep in the dark then." And the engines tried to go to sleep, but they just had a hard time going to, and they just didn't get a wink of sleep that night. And the mine engines stayed at the mines because they thought it might have been more safe, before you ask. The next morning, the engines all woke up and were getting out of the sheds when Jordan Edwards came. "Duke, Stuart, Falcon, Smudger," said Jordan Edwards. "Yes," they said. "I have bad news to report that Stanley can no longer work as a pumping engine, at least not for the time being. He needs heavy repairs before he can go back to work. So, I have decided that I'll make the naughtiest engine that's on the railway today in his place. For now, we won't be having any power in the sheds, but mainly he only pumped power to the lights in them, so it was not such a big problem. So, yeah, the naughtiest engine today will have his place until we end up getting a replacement. I'll be heading over to tell the mine engines this now. But also keep in mind, we have some people that are coming to the railway to write a book about this railway and its current stories that it has," said Jordan Edwards. This got the engines excited, but they were worried for Stanley. "Don't worry about me," said Stanley. "I'm just an old, useless engine." While Duke and Stuart dozed in the morning sun as their fires were struggling to light up, since they were not comfy in the sheds during the night, their fireboxes were having trouble starting up. So Stuart and Smudger began their jobs, and Falcon was being Falcon. Smudger had taken away Stanley over to the old Mid-Sodor and over to the Scarlowy Railway, where he'd be sent over to the standard gauge line and be repaired. Whereas Falcon was just coming up to his coaches, whereas Smudger was just coming up to his local goods train. "I don't know who's going to be the naughtiest engineer today. Maybe it'll be you, Smudger. You're always very grumpy." "Look, Falcon," said Smudger, "I may have been that naughty engine all those decades ago, well, years, but that does not mean I'm still that same engine now." "It does mean it," said Falcon. "This railway's been open for 30 plus years, and at this point 65. This railway's an old railway." "Well, technically it's 63, but it's still an old railway. It's one of the longest running railways on Sodor, and I'm not going to let this old railway put me at the back of the shed and keep me there until an old other engine gets repaired, said Falcon. If you say so, but don't bump the coaches about or you're going to become that pumping engine, said Smudger. Ugh, if you say so, said Falcon. Grumpy Smudge, grumpy Smudge, grumpy Smudge, he muttered as he steamed off. All day, Falcon just steamed along the line, and he was just being grumpy as usual. Jordan Edwards did see all this, though, and he saw that he was being a bit of a naughty engine, always getting a bit angry at the other engines when they told him to stop muttering all their names in a grumpy way, as if they didn't matter. And this ended up getting Jordan Edwards to decide which engine he would make a pumping engine. That night, Jordan Edwards came to the shed. He had told the mine engines which engine he was going to put as the pumping engine, and he now came to tell his main 4 engines. Engines, he said, I have finally decided on which engine I'm going to make a replacement for Stanley while he's getting repaired. I hope it's not me, said Duke. I hope it's not me, said Stuart. I really hope it's not me. If it is, then it's all my fault for playing a prank on you and Falcon. Ugh, said Falcon. Stop worrying. It's obviously not going to be any of us. Jordan Edwards isn't that cruel. And then he made Stanley a pumping engine, said Stuart. Fair point, but he deserved it. None of us deserve this. To take his place while he's getting repaired, said Falcon. Ugh, if you say so, said Stuart. The engines looked at Jordan Edwards with worry. I've decided to make Falcon the pumping engine. What? Said Falcon. The engines laughed. So Stanley 2.0 finally gets his punishment as well. Nice going, whale grass, said Stuart, referencing Stanley. Oh, Falcon, I never thought I'd see the day where you become a pumping engine. Neither did I, said Falcon. He can't be serious, can he? Said Falcon. He can't be serious, said Falcon. Why would he make me a pumping engine? Well, Falcon, said Jordan Edwards, as you know, we had the book people come today. And what about them? Said Falcon. They were on your train. What? Said Falcon. Yes, said Jordan Edwards. And because of that, you were giving them such a bumpy ride, they cannot take notes. And now they have to remember everything what happened today. And now we have to make you a pumping engine, and if so, you will be made it. I refuse, sir, said Falcon. Who will do it, said Jordan Edwards. That morning when Falcon woke up, he woke up to an unpleasant surprise. He was in Stanley's place at the back of the shed. And there stood the people that ran the books for the railway, Jordan Edwards and the engines. This is what you get for being a rude and naughty engine, said one of the people that worked on the book, that was making the books. Well, I refuse to work, said Falcon. I won't work until I'm put back on my rails. Oh, is that the case? Said Jordan Edwards. Yes, and he didn't work at all. Alright then, said Jordan Edwards. If you're not going to work, we'll make you work. And how you gonna do that? Said Falcon. We have many ways of making you work, Falcon, said Jordan Edwards. I think the simplest way will be to take him apart, don't you think so, Mr. Book People? Said Jordan Edwards. Oh Yes, I think that's a fabulous idea. This can also go into what the books are, said the book publishers and writers. Please, no, said Falcon. The engines looked at Falcon as he was taken apart. This was even put in the book that was cited. The engines were shocked. I don't believe it, they actually did it, said Duke. This is horrifying, said Jason. Oh my, said Smudger. They've actually shown the insides of us. I never want to see this again, said Stuart. Oh, said Alfred. Okay, why did they decide to take Falcon apart when he's literally an important relic of this railway? So it's a relic, said Falcon. You are all relics of this railway. We've all been working on this railway for decades, so we're technically old relics of this railway. That's right, said Jordan Edwards. We all are. Well, at least all you engines are. We'll put Falcon back together, but this will be going in the book. Oh my, said Stuart. The engine's wheels wobbled. Falcon was finally rebuilt and put back together and put back into the place at the pumping engine shed. I hope that teaches you a lesson, Falcon, said Jordan Edwards. It has, said Falcon. Please don't do it again. We won't unless you do misbehave. I'll work. And so Falcon worked as hard as he could until Stanley was prepared and returned back to the shed he worked in. When Stanley returned, Jordan Edwards and the book publishers and writers came and Falcon was finally given his wheels back. I'm sorry, said Falcon. It's okay, said Jordan Edwards. Oh, I think you've learned your lesson now, isn't that right? Said Jordan Edwards. Yes, said the people that worked on the books. They're going to be doing a documentary on this railway through their books. So do expect me to be getting a copy, and we'll see how accurate it is, shall we? Said Jordan Edwards. Yes, sir, said Falcon. But I will say there's one thing I've learned on being a pumping engine. And what's that? Said Jordan Edwards. It's that you don't get to pump your pistons anymore. You just pump energy into the thing. Everyone laughed, and even got Falcon to give a small laugh and a small smile.